Continuing from the previous episode 315. The extremely shocking feeling in Xiao Yan's heart could not be calm for a long time. At this time, Xiao Yan also completely knew why the immortal emperor in front of him treated him like this. Xinya 81 Zhang Weian Wang U. Kai 8.1 ZS. Koem thinking about it, I don't know why. At the beginning, my ancestor had a chance to *** the holy flame, but Xiao Yan's ancestor gave up and gave this opportunity to the immortal emperor, which is why he got the illustrious name of the immortal emperor. According to what the immortal emperor said, in the scene at that time, the immortal emperor's body was destroyed by the immortal flame, leaving only the body of his soul, and his own ancestor Xiao Yan was a genuine fighting immortal powerhouse. If Xiao Yan wanted to subdue this immortal the flames, you can think of it without any effort. But Xiao Yan didn't. After helping the immortal emperor condense his body, he also gave immortal flame a chance to choose. In the end, immortal flame chose the immortal emperor, and the ancestor Xiao Yan also left gracefully. Although Xiao Yan didn't know what happened in the middle, from the level of respect the immortal emperor had for his ancestor Xiao Yan and his attitude towards him, he knew that what the immortal emperor said was true, and just because of the daring of his ancestor Xiao Yan, even Xiao Yan felt inferior. Back then, after your ancestor Xiao Yan left, I relied on swallowing the flame of immortality, and my strength improved by leaps and bounds. In one fell swoop, he broke through the level of the 9-star Do Emperor and entered the realm of rank 9. Just when I was going to look for your ancestor Xiao Yan to repay my kindness, I don't know why it suddenly came out that your Xiao family was wanted by the 7 realms. Then at the same time, the foreign evil clan also attacked aggressively. In the end, I also perished with hatred under the conspiracy of the alien race. However, it seems that some of the strengths in these 7 realms may have some relationship with the foreign evil clan. After all, the foreign evil clan and the wanted Xiao clan all came too suddenly. The immortal emperor also thought slowly. Well, Xiao clan also said solemnly, and then carefully memorized these words in his heart. However, I still want to thank you Xiao clan. If it wasn't for your ancestor Xiao Yan, then there would be no immortal emperor in this world. The immortal emperor also said slowly, but there was more in the voice. It is gentle. Obviously Xiao Yan is a member of the Xiao family, so this immortal emperor deliberately did it. The next moment, the face of the immortal emperor in front of him also became ugly, apparently remembering something unpleasant. Senior. Xiao Yan also noticed that the immortal emperor's expression suddenly became sad, and immediately said, "It's okay. I just remembered some unpleasant things." The immortal emperor also murmured, obviously because he just remembered something about the evil race outside the territory. The terrifying level of the evil race outside the realm, the terrifying level is that the powerhouses of their own level are. But it's better that you don't know these things now. The immortal emperor also said slowly. But you are really amazing. You have an incredible flame at a young age. Although the flame on your body is not as powerful as the holy flame, it is still very good. Even me, I have to guard against it. And what puzzles me the most is, before I fell, I also got the news that the Xiao clan has been wanted by the 7 realms, so it is impossible for any of the Xiao clan to appear. Where did you come from? The immortal emperor also wondered. Since it was confirmed that the person in front of him was a member of the Xiao family, it was natural to interrogate him clearly. To be honest, the kid broke through from the Do-Chi continent. Xiao Yan also did not hide it, and said to the immortal emperor. The immortal emperor in front of him is also someone who can be trusted, and what to say, this immortal emperor is just a remnant soul. Do-Chi continent? Impossible? During the war 10,000 years ago, all the emperor's energy in the lower middle plane had been exhausted, and it was impossible for a fighting emperor to advance. The immortal emperor also denied it. What my disciples said, can it be fake or not? A deep breath also slowly emanated. Then, the Golden Dragon King above Xiao Yan's head also appeared as his original figure. Golden Dragon King? The immortal emperor also shrank his pupils tightly, looking at the familiar figure in front of him. The immortal emperor would not feel wrong about the breath of the Golden Dragon King. After all, the Golden Dragon King was the strongest in the entire Dragon Clan back then. The immortal emperor clearly remembers that the Golden Dragon King and the Xiao clan made great contributions to the battle with the foreign evil clan back then. I just don't know why this Xiao family is still wanted by the 7 realms. As for the Golden Dragon King, it seems that he has disappeared since the war. It is rumored that he fell in the war of the evil race outside the territory. Why are you here? The immortal emperor was also extremely shocked. The Xiao family naturally has descendants. Don't forget that there is an intermediate plane in the human world, the Do-Chi continent. Where did the first Xiao clan bloodline come from? But no one has been promoted to the Do-Di continent for 10,000 years in the Do-Chi continent, so it was slowly forgotten. However, this does not mean that the Do-Chi continent does not have Emperor Qi, but it has Emperor-grade medicinal pills, so. The Golden Dragon King also laughed slowly. I can't think of how many secrets this kid has. The Immortal Emperor also sighed slowly. Because the Immortal Emperor knows that the Golden Dragon King in front of him is the most powerful being in the dragon race. A powerhouse comparable to the king level of a foreign evil race. Terror is also close to the powerhouse of the God of War. The Immortal Emperor also sighed secretly. Link to hehew.novelmtl.com in that case. Time is running out. My 10th rank Do Emperor is a gift to the descendants of the Xiao family, and I have already repaid Senior Xiao Yan's kindness. The Immortal Emperor also spoke slowly. As the voice of the Immortal Emperor just fell, the body in the hall exudes golden light, and an invisible wave spreads slowly above the body. It's really a terrifying fluctuation. Xiao Yan also stared at the tiny rays of light above the golden body. In Xiao Yan's perception, if even a little bit. Then, relying on his current defense, even if he is terrified, he will be seriously injured. This Immortal Emperor is truly a terrifying existence. This is just some means to protect the 10-rank Do Emperor. The Immortal Emperor also said slowly. Go, Xiao Yan. The Immortal Emperor also spoke slowly. There were some different emotions in his voice, and then his pupils also became deep. Junior, thanks Senior. After Xiao Yan finished speaking, he bowed slowly to the Immortal Emperor in front of him, then no longer hesitated, and walked slowly towards the golden body in the hall. Is that the body of a 10th rank Do-Di? Xiao Yan approached the golden body, and also found some strange things on this body. According to Xiao Yan's estimation, I am afraid that with all of his attacking methods, he will not be able to break this golden Do Emperor. Ask for tickets. End of this chapter. Continuing from the previous episode 316. What a tyrannical Do-Di. Xiao Yan also stared at the golden body in front of him, and then muttered. With his excellent perception, Xiao Yan can also discover how powerful energy is contained in this small golden body. I am afraid that even if it is the body of the Emperor Yan that he condensed on the Do-Chi continent, it is compared with the body of immortality. Also less than 1 in 10,000. Xiao Yan also said with a smile. The next moment, the palm containing the milky white flame also slowly walked towards the immortal body. Shabu shabu. Xiao Yan's palm just came into contact with the immortal body, and an extremely terrifying repulsive force forcefully isolated Xiao Yan. This immortal body seems to be quite resisting me. Xiao Yan also frowned, and then whispered. He, my immortal body ranks second to the top 10th rank, if there is no special means. This 10th rank Do Emperor's body is nothing but bland. The Immortal Emperor also said slowly to Xiao Yan. Exercise your soul power, enter this immortal body, and condense the soul rune on its forehead, and you can also gain its control and use rights. The Immortal Emperor also said to Xiao Yan. Yeah. Xiao Yan closed his eyes when he heard the words, preparing to mobilize the huge soul power. Hey, your immortal body is not weak. I remember that you used this immortal body to fight against foreign evil races. The Golden Dragon King also said slowly. On the other side, the remnant soul of the Immortal Emperor seemed to be whispering something to his master, the Golden Dragon King, but Xiao Yan didn't listen. After all, Xiao Yan knew what the two said without even thinking about it. It might be some secret, sexual things. Therefore, Xiao Yan is also immersed in the immortal body in front of him. The body of a Do-Di, a method that only a strong Do-Di can display. With the body of a fighting emperor, a huge energy giant will form around his body and slowly dominate himself, thereby improving his attack and even defense ability. Xiao Yan was also gearing up, and then a huge soul force emerged instantly, rushing away towards the golden complexion. Chi. Xiao Yan's soul power just came into contact with the golden body. A golden light on the surface of the golden body resisted Xiao Yan's invasion, and an indescribable terrifying pressure also emanated from the golden body. Shabu shabu! What a terrifying coercion! Xiao Yan's left knee was also instantly suppressed by the huge coercion above the golden body, and he knelt down. But that's not enough. The next moment, the clan lines on Xiao Yan's forehead also lit up, and then the breath burst out. Xiao Yan raised his left knee bit by bit as he gritted his teeth, and then Xiao Yan instantly increased his soul power. The next moment, the terrifying soul power also broke through the golden light around the golden body, and then suddenly broke through the golden light. The rays of light flowed smoothly into the golden body. The golden and transparent body seemed to recognize Xiao Yan at the moment when Xiao Yan's soul power poured in, and the terrifying coercion disappeared instantly without a trace. "Give it to me!" Xiao Yan shouted loudly, then looked at the golden body in front of him. His soul power was on his forehead. Then the next moment, within the golden transparent body, on its illusory forehead, a mysterious soul rune slowly formed under the control of Xiao Yan's soul power. Hoo! A rune was formed on the forehead of the golden transparent body he saw. Xiao Yan also hurriedly withdrew his soul power, sat down and gasped for breath. Simply condensing the soul runes on the golden body consumed almost all of Xiao Yan's soul power. Xiao Yan didn't even doubt that even if it was one step at night, his fate would be quite miserable, but fortunately it didn't happen in the end. Since the runes have been condensed, this immortal body will also be yours in the future. I hope that it will show a more dazzling brilliance on the outside. The soft voice of the immortal emperor slowly rang in Xiao Yan's ears. Xiao Yan heard the words, nodded slowly to the immortal emperor, and then his eyes were also fixed on the golden transparent body in front of him. Since he just condensed the runes on this body, Xiao Yan can also feel that he seems to have a close connection with this immortal body. After a short rest, Xiao Yan also knew that this time was waiting for no one, so he simply absorbed the immortal body in front of him. Because Xiao Yan also knows that with his current self, if he wants to absorb this immortal body, the time required for terror is extremely long. See. Xiao Yan no longer hesitated, then the corner of his mouth opened, and the huge suction force immediately sucked the immortal body into his body. When the body of immortality entered Xiao Yan's body, an extremely ancient aura that seemed to contain immortality also slowly emanated. At the same time, Xiao Yan's entire body also emitted a humming sound of bones. Obviously, the tyranny of this immortal body is far beyond Xiao Yan's estimation. Damn it! If it goes on like this, the body will explode. Xiao Yan also found that he was careless, and just tried to solve the matter of this immortal body. Just when Xiao Yan was devastated, the Xiao clan pattern that appeared on Xiao Yan's forehead also exuded an extremely huge force, and then the immortal body that was still struggling before felt Xiao Yan after the power of Yan. It slowly fell silent like a deflated balloon. Although Xiao Yan was puzzled, he didn't have time to think about it. He closed his eyes and sat down on the ground. Then, around Xiao Yan, a golden light mixed with immortality also slowly emerged, and an illusory and solid body also slowly appeared around Xiao Yan. 10 feet, 20 feet. When the golden energy giant attached to this kid's body reaches 100 feet, it will be the time for this kid to succeed. The immortal emperor also spoke slowly. Yeah, the golden dragon king heard that, and was quite satisfied with Xiao Yan, and then said something to the immortal emperor, and then the space returned to calm. Xinya 81 Zhang Huiyan Wang U. Kai 8.1 ZS. Koem. Boom boom boom. This is. The only people waiting outside the hall at this time were Mu Shuji and Zhu Lao. Someone has gained immortality. Elder Zhu also concluded. When Zhu Lao was young, he entered the place where the immortal emperor linked to fell www.novelmtl.com, so he is very familiar with this fluctuation. It's really some scary little guys. I just didn't know that little guy had such good luck. Elder Zhu also laughed slowly. Old Zhu, then this matter will definitely be known to the Xuanling royal family. After all, we, Do Daihe, built it together with them back then. Mu Shuji said with great concern. If you know it, you will know it. It's true that I can't do it without fighting immortals in the burning incense pavilion. After Lao Zhu finished speaking, a sense of pride also permeated the hall. Could it be that the cabinet leaders and the others? Mu Shuji also laughed. He is very clear about the heavyweight of Do Xian. If their Fenxiang pavilion also has a fighting immortal powerhouse, then other things are not to be feared. After all, the fighting immortal powerhouse's shocking vision is. Report. Outside the expensive house of the Xuanling royal family, an attendant said in a panic. Tell me. King Xuanling, who was inside, also spoke slowly. Following King Xuanling's opening, the group of women surrounding him also closed their mouths, because they all knew that the king beside him had a bad temper. Varies. The immortal body in the burning incense pavilion. It seems that his disciple got it. The people outside the room also whispered. Bang bang bang. The entourage outside the door just finished speaking, and an extremely terrifying aura came from the door. Ask for tickets. End of this chapter. Continuing from the previous episode 317. What? An aura soaring to the sky also burst out from the room instantly, and the next moment King Xuanling also came to the entourage outside the door. Holding the collar of the follower with one hand, he lifted the follower away from the ground, and stared at him fiercely. You say it again. King Xuanling's angry voice echoed inside and outside the room. The immortal body in the burning incense pavilion was obtained by its disciples. The followers were also afraid of King Xuanling, but they had no choice but to say, and then said in due. Bang bang bang. A series of voices also slowly came from the body of the follower. Damn the burning incense pavilion, it's actually bad for me. King Xuanling also stared at the location of the burning incense pavilion viciously, and then said hideously. At the level of the Xuanling king, there are not many things to be interested in, but there is no doubt that the attraction of this immortal body to the Xuanling king is unparalleled. Because King Xuanling has also thought of countless ways, if he can obtain this immortal body, then he can also be promoted to Do Xian by virtue of his immortal body. But I don't know why, King Xuanling couldn't find the place to enter the immortal body at all, as if it was hidden. Now that it was actually obtained by the disciples of Burning Incense Pavilion, King Xuanling was naturally extremely angry. The previous followers had already been turned into powder by the power of King Xuanling. After all, the strength of this entourage was not reached by Emperor Do, and in front of this King Xuanling, he couldn't bear the anger of the peak Do Emperor. It seems that it is imperative to advance to Do Xian. Otherwise, the one who worshipped me would be dissatisfied with me for a long time. If I were promoted to Do Xian, these things would naturally be self-defeating. King Xuanling said in a low voice, and after speaking, his figure flashed strangely and disappeared in place. In the Fenxiang pavilion, Mu Yingying, Ludi, Mu Feng, and Xiao Yi also came out one after another. Only Xiao Yan was left in the Do Di River. It's just that none of these four disappointed Mu Shuji. They all gained the status of a 6th-ranked Do Emperor. And Mu Yingying even gained the status of a 7th-ranked Do Emperor. This makes Mu Shuji, who has always been high-minded and low-handed, quite satisfied. You must know that even Elder Zhu in front of him only has the body of a 7th-ranked Do Emperor. It seems that this immortal body should be Xiao Yan's kid without a doubt. Elder Zhu on the side also said slowly. Immortal body? What is that? Mu Yingying also slightly parted her lips, and then said blankly. The body of immortality is simply the body of the most terrifying Do Di in this Do Di Hanoi. In other words, it is the body of a 10th-rank fighting emperor. Mu Shuji also said slowly. The body of a 10th-rank fighting emperor? As soon as Mu Shuji said this, the four people around suddenly raised shocking doubts. Because after they obtained the body of the Do Emperor, they also knew the tyranny of the Do Emperor's body. The body of a 6th-rank Do Emperor is so tyrannical, so how powerful should this 10th-rank Do Emperor be? Let's wait. After Mu Shuji finished speaking, he also stared at Do Daihe in front of him. Hearing the words, the four of them nodded in unison. Big brother is still big brother. Xiao Yi also said slowly. In the faraway place of the void, in a very dark place, on an altar, countless eerie ghosts filled the air, and at the same time, two familiar figures also appeared in the center of the altar. Xinya 81 Zhang Huiyan Wang U, Kai 8, approximately 1 ZS, Koem taking a closer look, it is the red leaves and the ghosts of the secluded spring. Are you sure you're so sure? Hong Yi also pondered for a while before opening the mouth and said, after all, the ghost of the secluded spring was too crazy when he said it. 60% sure. The ghost of the secluded spring on the side also spoke slowly. 60%. Hong Yi shook her head when she heard the words, and then stopped talking, staring at the ghost in the secluded spring in front of her. On that day, after they escaped from the infernal corpse forest, they found a dark place to retreat, and until today, all their injuries were fully recovered, and then they returned to the Red Mountain and made such a move on the top of the mountain. At this time, the entire top of Hongshan was filled with a spooky ghost, and in the center of the top, a spooky formation slowly appeared. In the formation, it seemed that something was about to appear, which made Hongyi quite uneasy. Looking at Youquan, the ghost of Youquan at this time also lost the appearance of a human, and the whole body was rotted to varying degrees, and it looked extremely terrifying. I hope it will be successful. Hongyi also bit her lip slightly, then stared at a body beside her. That body is her lover. If the secluded spring is successful, then it will be much easier to resurrect her lover. After all, Hongyi is also known from some ancient secret books. This twin ghost emperor has some mysterious powers that can revive others, so he is also with this twin ghost. God deals. And now that the ghosts of the twin ghost emperors are on Youquan, it undoubtedly means that Youquan is the next twin ghost emperors, so Hongyi has no choice but to do so. Get ready. Wait until this time I completely devour the soul of the twin ghost emperors. In addition to the other half of the previous twin ghost emperors, I think it will be stronger than the twin ghost emperors at their peak. Youquan also showed his eyes, facing the red leaf road on the side. Yeah. Hongyi heard the words and slowly put down her lover, then walked to the center of the formation and confronted Youquan. I'm going to start, I'll trouble you these days. After Youquan finished speaking, he also closed his eyes, and the next moment, a huge and incomparably evil aura also emanated from Youquan. Actually reached the level of 6-star Do Emperor consummation. Hongyi also muttered, obviously not expecting that this secluded spring was only the level of 5-star Do Emperor at first, but after swallowing the other half of Twin Ghost Emperor, it turned out to be promoted to 6-star Do Emperor consummation level. This is appalling. Susu. The next moment, Youquan also suddenly took out his palm, which had become somewhat rotten. At the same time, a blood-red heart slowly appeared in the hands of the ghost of Youquan. Twin Ghost Emperor's heart? Hongyi's pupils shrank tightly at this time, because around her, she had never seen such a thing. Only heard of link to www.novelmtl.com. According to legend, every ghost emperor when they fall, they will leave their souls behind, and through special means, the ghost emperor heart can be extracted from their souls. The ghost emperor's heart is the core source of power for every ghost emperor. As long as the ghost emperor's heart is absorbed, the person who absorbs it will become a ghost emperor again. So this is the ghost emperor's heart. Hongyi also spoke slowly. A powerful heartbeat also came from the blood-red heart, but Hongyi returned when she heard the heartbeat, and even her vindictive chi was in a state of solidification. Susu, you are mine. Youquan Ghost also didn't hesitate, opened his *** mouth and swallowed the ghost emperor's heart black. The ghost emperor's shin had just entered Youquan's body, and suddenly a shocking aura emanated from the top of Hongshan Mountain. Just as the blood-colored rays of light from the sky were about to appear, the formation at the foot of Youquan exuded a huge suction force, and that power was completely absorbed, and then it was fed back to Youquan, and so on. Hongyi also withdrew from the formation, and then protected Youquan by the side. Although I don't know how long it will last. But I hope you can succeed. If you succeed in treachery, then I'll leave it alone. After Hongyi finished speaking, she also slowly left here holding the body. At this time, the top of Hongshan Mountain was calm again. Ask for tickets. End of this chapter. Continuing from the previous episode 318. Time passed day by day, and it had been a whole month since Xiao Yan entered the Dodi River. During this month, the envoys of the Xuanling royal family also came to the Fenxiang Pavilion, and informed them of the qualifications they had promised to Fenxiang Pavilion to enter the Xuanling Imperial Pond of the Xuanling Imperial family. As long as the incense pavilion is ready, you can go there at any time. Xiao Yan, Mu Yingying and Mu Feng are all qualified to enter the Xuanling Emperor Pond. It's just that Xiao Yan hadn't come out of Dodi Hanoi at this time, so it took some time. Since the 5 people entered the Dodi River, the other 4 people also came out one after another 10 days later, but Xiao Yan was the only one who did not come out. In this regard, Zhu Lao and Mu Shuji were also quite helpless, so they had to give up and wait for Xiao Yan. After all, the two of them also have a lot of things to deal with. Wait for Xiao Yan again? A hearty laugh suddenly appeared in the hall, and upon closer inspection, it was Xiao Yi who spoke. Following his gaze, the other person in the hall was Mu Yingying. "Don't talk nonsense, I just wanted to come and see if he came out. After all, it took us so much time, otherwise we could have soaked in the Xuanling Emperor Pond." Mu Yingying was also flustered, and after a short stay, she stayed a little bit. Said after thinking, "But it's almost too soon." Xiao Yi naturally found out that Mu Yingying was tacit. Obviously what she said and what she did were obviously different, but Xiao Yi didn't expose it, she just let Mu Yingying do it. "You say, will Xiao Yan be okay? It's been a month." Mu Yingying was also a little worried. Since Mu Yingying entered Dodi Hanoi and obtained the rank 7 Do Emperor, she has vaguely touched the threshold of the 5-star Do Emperor, and it is just around the corner to break through. Probably not. For some special reasons, I can feel the state of my eldest brother. Big brother's fighting spirit in his body is getting more and more solid at this time. It's been a few days since he wanted to make a breakthrough. Xiao Yi also said slowly. As for the special reason, it is naturally impossible for Xiao Yi to tell Mu Yingying. "I hope so. Then I'll go first." After Mu Yingying finished speaking, she also walked towards the main hall door with light steps. "Hey, eldest brother, how do you explain to the two sisters-in-law like this?" Xiao Yi also laughed. Obviously Mu Yingying's panicked expression just now was like a sneaky little girl looking at her lover. Unexpectedly, the Dodi River in the main hall suddenly exudes an extremely huge aura. Xinya 81 Zhang Wian Wang U. Kai 8.1 ZS. Koem. What's wrong? Mu Yingying just walked to the door, but she felt the change, and she hurried to the side of Do Daihe and said to Xiao Yi. "Big brother should be out today." Xiao Yi also said, and after speaking, the two of them turned their eyes to Do Daihe. At this time, the Dodi River, when viewed from the outside, is golden in color, and an aura that seems to contain immortality also permeates the entire Dodi River. In a certain space in Dodi Hanoi. "Hey, this kid," I also said why it took so long to integrate a body of a fighting emperor. "So this kid has other plans." The immortal emperor also spoke slowly. Obviously, with his eyesight, he naturally knew that Xiao Yan spent so much time in order to absorb the immortal body. The second is to consolidate their own strength. At this time, Xiao Yan exuded an extremely huge aura, and the smell of immortality permeated around his body. On the surface of his body, an energy giant with several hundred meters was slowly wrapping Xiao Yan tightly. Originally, even if Xiao Yan was a 10th-rank fighting emperor, 10 days would be enough if Xiao Yan fused together, but Xiao Yan forced it into a month. The secret of this is Xiao Yan himself. Plan. Xiao Yan also knows that since he came to Zan Santian, he has always been fighting at a higher level. Although his strength has improved rapidly, for the sake of the future, Xiao Yan has to put down his footsteps and slowly use this extremely pure immortal. The body consolidates the fighting spirit in the body. After all, a person's limit has a lot to do with the foundation. Once the foundation is shaken, it will also have a huge impact on its future. Therefore, Xiao Yan also used the time of fusing this immortal body to consolidate his own cultivation. In 1 month, Xiao Yan not only merged his immortal body, but also consolidated the fighting qi in his body. This can be said to serve multiple purposes. It's about time. Xiao Yan also grinned, then suddenly opened his eyes, and an immortal golden aura also appeared. After Xiao Yan opened his eyes, he also found the immortal body of several hundred meters around him, and nodded in satisfaction immediately. The terrifying golden light was radiated from Xiao Yan's immortal body. With Xiao Yan's powerful soul perception, he could naturally feel that the immortal body that he merged with was probably just by virtue of his immortal body. Block the full blow of the 5-star duty powerhouse. As for attacking, Xiao Yan is also confident. With the 7th layer breaking sky ruler in his hand, plus the lotus of silentness and some means, even dealing with a 5-star duty powerhouse is not enough. But this immortal body seems to be missing something. Xiao Yan said after feeling it for a while. "Hee, you kid, you are really shrewd." The immortal emperor also came to Xiao Yan from afar. "Well," Xiao Yan also replied softly, obviously knowing that when he merged with this immortal body, the remnant soul of his master, the Golden Dragon King, and the immortal emperor also exchanged a lot. After all, the two of them are smiling maliciously at themselves now, Apparently they have reached the same agreement. Link to hehew.novelmtl.com/immortal emperor, then do as you say. The Golden Dragon King also smiled slowly. Boy, do you think this immortal body seems incomplete? The immortal emperor also smiled at Xiao Yan. It doesn't seem to be incomplete. Even if I push it to the limit, I can only display the level of a 9th rank fighting emperor. If you want to be sent to the 10th grade, it seems that something is missing. Xiao Yan also slowly opened his mouth while staring at the golden immortal body attached to his body. You feel good. If you want to push this immortal body to the limit, you must cooperate with the flame of immortality. The immortal emperor also showed a cunning look. Immortal flame. Xiao Yan's eyes also became hot, and then he was staring at the immortal emperor. Since the immortal emperor said that if he wants to push the limit of his immortal body, he must cooperate with the immortal flame, then even if the immortal emperor in front of him is just a remnant soul, he must know where the immortal flame is. Even the legendary immortal gold. This is the most powerful means of the immortal emperor. If Xiao Yan gets it, it will be extremely beneficial to his future. Senior, I don't know where this immortal flame is now. Xiao Yan also respectfully looked at the simple old man in front of him. Ask for tickets. End of this chapter. Continuing from the previous episode 319. Still a pretty shrewd kid. The immortal emperor was also extremely satisfied with Xiao Yan. This satisfaction is not only because Xiao Yan has the blood of the Xiao family and is the descendant of the previous senior Xiao Yan, but also because of this rare character of Xiao Yan, which also made this immortal emperor decide to take a gamble. After all, when Xiao Yan was merging the immortal body before, the immortal emperor also negotiated a lot with the Golden Dragon King. Through the conversation with the Golden Dragon King, he also learned a lot of things, so adding the immortal emperor's old and spicy eyesight, naturally it is not difficult to see that this Xiao Yan's kid can be seen by the peak-level powerhouse of the Golden Dragon King, which is naturally very extraordinary. I believe you can feel it too. At this time, I am just a remnant soul. After the fall, due to the pressure of the constant search of the evil races outside the territory, I had no choice but to live my immortal body in the Do Di Hanoi of the Burning Incense Pavilion, but the place where I really fell. It's not here. The immortal emperor also spoke slowly. Oh. When Xiao Yan heard the words, he also put away the immortal body that surrounded his body, and then listened carefully with interest, and focused his gaze on the immortal emperor. Xiao Yan knew that this immortal emperor was definitely a great power. Whether it was the immortal flame or the immortal golden body, it was what Xiao Yan wanted, and now the immortal emperor said this, obviously with a bit of a carefree taste. I told you before that when I found the immortal flame, it was on the Tianxing continent, on the Sifang continent, on the Do Di continent. Yan smiled. Tianxing continent forgets the end of the world. Xiao Yan also shook his head. Xiao Yan also knew that this Duty continent is divided into 4 continents. The weakest is located in the westernmost Xuanling continent, and the middle strength is the easternmost Douyin continent, Tianxing continent in the northernmost, and Haohai continent, the strongest in the southernmost. The strength of Tianxing continent is not a little bit stronger than that of Xuanling continent. With your current strength, you will undoubtedly die if you go there. However, I can tell you clearly that this immortal golden body and immortal flame are indeed within the forgotten end of the sky in the Tianxing continent. Where is the specific existence forgetting the horizon? As long as you get close, the immortal body in your body will also guide you to go. But you have to remember, if you don't have the strength of the 7-star Do Emperor, you should not get involved in these two. Otherwise, after the immortal emperor finished speaking, he slowly shook his head. Obviously, his eyes became a little ugly, as if he remembered the terrifying scene of swallowing the immortal flame. The younger generation knows. Xiao Yan also bowed to the immortal emperor, who was beginning to be slightly illusory in front of him. He, it's not in vain for your Xiao ancestors to save my life. If you meet that senior Xiao Yan in the future, just say hello to me. The immortal emperor was also quite free and easy. By the way, there is one more point. Sheng Yan is the most powerful nemesis of the evil tribes, but when the evil tribes attacked our 7 realms, it seems that these evil tribes still want to collect holy flames. Although I don't know why, but remember, the holy flame must never fall into the hands of foreign evil races. If the immortal flame is obtained by the evil race outside the territory in the future, remember to destroy it at all costs. At the end, the voice of the immortal emperor suddenly echoed in the mysterious space. Junior, remember the teachings of seniors. Although Xiao Yan didn't know why, but what the immortal emperor said naturally had his reasons, and he immediately agreed. Let's go. My remnant soul has also taken away the protection of this immortal body. I hope that the next time we meet, you kid can be like this. The immortal emperor smiled slowly, and then the next moment, the figure also slowly it became illusory, slowly turning into golden fragments, and slowly dissipating in the hall. Let's go. It's time to go out. The Golden Dragon King stood aside from beginning to end, without interfering with the absoluteness of this immortal emperor. Master, is it possible that this immortal emperor is resurrected? Xiao Yan also looked at the immortal emperor who had been scattered into golden fragments with some difficulty, and then said, These powerhouses are all fallen in the true sense. Even the angel family who masters the most powerful resurrection magic may not be able to return to the sky. The Golden Dragon King also said slowly, Hey, let's go. Xiao Yan also sighed helplessly, then slowly stood up and walked towards the door of the main hall. Boom, boom, boom. Xiao Yan had just stepped out of the immortal emperor's hall, and the hall collapsed in the next moment, and the originally rather simple and ancient atmosphere was instantly reduced to ruins. This hall also exists to protect the immortal body. Now that the immortal body has a master, it also dissipates in this space. The Golden Dragon King also said, and the next moment the Golden Dragon King also returned to the ring in Xiao Yan's hands. Boom, boom, boom. The dazzling golden light also spread out from the Dou River. This aura. Mu Yingying also became vigilant. Obviously, the strength of this aura was probably not comparable to that of Xiao Yi's peak stage 7-star Dou Emperor next to her, so she immediately watched vigilantly. Dou River. Don't panic, this is my eldest brother. Xiao Yi also spoke slowly, and then Yi Shi smiled slowly at the golden figure. Big brother, it's considered to be out, let's wait. Xiao Yi also strode Link to forward www.novelmtl.com with a fist that hit Xiao Yan on the shoulder. Everything went well. Xiao Yan also said to Xiao Yi, and apparently found that Xiao Yi's fist did not contain any strength, it was a collision between brothers. It's fine. Seeing the two of them like this, Mu Yingying was quite puzzled, but she didn't ask any further questions. Have you obtained the body of a 10th-rank Dou Emperor? Xiao Yi also had a smile on her cheeks, and then said to Xiao Yan who was beside her. Fortunately not to be disgraced. Xiao Yan also laughed. Obviously Xiao Yan also had absolute trust in Xiao Yi. When you entered the Dou River, the four of us were all over in about 10 days. All of them obtained the body of the 6th-rank Dou Emperor, and Mu Yingying obtained the body of the 7th-rank Dou Emperor. Xiao Yi also the way. Xiao Yan was not surprised either. To know the body of a Dou Emperor, it is usually only obtained by disciples who are extremely high-ranking students. This is enough to stir up the entire burning incense pavilion. And the Xuanling royal family also sent someone here. When you get out of the customs, you can go ahead. Xiao Yi also smiled. Hearing this, Xiao Yan also laughed, although he didn't know what secrets this Xuanling Emperor Pond had, but since it could be praised by countless people, it was naturally attractive. By the way, Xiao Yan, an elder from the Hall of People who led us to this time, he asked you to go out and find him. It seems to be called Old Zhu. Mu Yingying said to Xiao Yan as if she had remembered something. Youngest bamboo. Xiao Yan also shook his head, and then slowly stepped out of the hall with the three of them. The Dou River was also darkening, and he didn't know when it would be opened again. Set a small goal first, such as 1 second to remember. Shukju mobile version reading website.